Thousands of years ago, China did not build a wall for beauty. It was not made for travelers, cameras, or history lovers. The Great Wall was created because an empire lived in fear. A fear of invasion, a fear of destruction, a fear that one day, enemies from the endless northern lands would arrive without warning. Even today, when standing before the Great Wall, one question immediately comes to mind. What kind of empire spends generations building a barrier across mountains, deserts, and valleys? And how many lives does it cost to create something so massive? Today, millions of tourists walk across these ancient stones, but very few think about the suffering hidden beneath them. Long before it became a famous landmark, the wall represented the border between two completely different worlds. To the south were farms, villages, crowded cities, and trade routes filled with life. To the north stretched endless grasslands and cold steppes where fast-moving horsemen could appear suddenly like a storm and vanish just as quickly. For centuries, northern China faced the same nightmare again and again. Raids would come without warning. Village burned. Food was stolen. Entire communities disappeared overnight. Dynasties rose and collapsed. Emperors came and went, but the fear never disappeared. At first, China did not build one giant wall. Instead, different kingdoms created smaller defenses, dirt barriers, wooden forts, and temporary walls built in desperation. Every ruler believed their wall would finally stop the invaders. None truly succeeded. Then history changed. A powerful emperor emerged with one vision: unite everything under a single empire. Roads, laws, measurements, armies, and the walls. He looked toward the north and saw weakness. Too many openings, too many vulnerable borders. So he ordered something unimaginable. The scattered defenses would become one enormous line stretching across the land like a giant stone circle. To create it, millions of laborers were forced into brutal conditions. Workers climbed dangerous mountains carrying heavy stones on their backs. There were no machines, no paved roads, no modern tools, only human strength. Farmers, prisoners, soldiers, and craftsmen were all pushed into the construction effort. Many never returned home. Winter brought freezing winds. Summer brought unbearable heat. But the work never stopped. During the day, the mountains echoed with hammer strikes, shouted commands, and the sound of stones being dragged uphill. At night, silence returned, broken only by distant fires and exhausted workers thinking about the families they might never see again. But the Great Wall was never just about defense. It was also about power. The empire wanted to control trade routes, regulate movement, and remind everyone that the emperor's authority reached even the harshest mountains. The message was simple. If the empire could reshape nature itself, it could control its people as well. Yet despite its enormous size, the wall was never perfect. Invaders still found weak points. Some crossed frozen rivers during winter. Others bribed guards or attacked poorly defended sections. The wall slowed invasions, but it could not completely stop them. Along the structure stood countless watchtowers where isolated soldiers spent years guarding the frontier. Their mission was simple: watch everything. Watch the skies. Watch the plains. Watch for dust rising from distant horses. The wall also became one of the ancient world's greatest communication systems. Smoke by day, fire by night. One signal meant danger. More signals meant a larger attack. Within minutes, warnings could travel across huge distances faster than any messenger on horseback. As centuries passed, different dynasties repaired, expanded, and rebuilt the wall using stronger materials and improved engineering. Some sections used packed earth and rough stone. Later sections added bricks, stairways, drainage systems, and platforms for cannons. The Great Wall slowly transformed into a massive military corridor, following the shape of the mountains themselves. From above, it twists across the landscape like a dragon disappearing in the mist-covered hills. For people living near the border, the wall symbolized both safety and suffering. It protected communities, but it also demanded endless labor and sacrifice. Over time, Stories spread that the wall contained the bones of the workers who died building it. Whether completely true or not, the legend reflects how deeply people understood its terrible human cost. Today, tourists crowd the restored sections. Families take photos. Travelers climb the steep stairs, searching for the perfect view. But far away from the popular areas, parts of the wall are slowly disappearing. Broken towers collapse into the earth. Grass grows over ancient stones. Nature quietly takes back what humans once fought so hard to build. Many people also repeat another famous myth that the Great Wall is the only human structure visible from space. In reality, that isn't true. From orbit, the wall blends into mountains, rivers, and valleys. It is difficult to see with the naked eye, but its true power was never meant to be seen from space. Its real power is felt when standing beside it. Because the Great Wall is more than stone and brick. It is the story of fear, of ambition, of war, and of millions of forgotten people whose names vanish from history. If you ever visit the Great Wall one day, pause for a moment. Look beyond the tourists and cameras. And remember that this endless structure crossing the mountains was built through centuries of sacrifice by ordinary people the world will never know.